Alright guys, a lot to get into. Let me just give thanks to Wolfman Got Nards, Protagonist, a few others. If I missed anyone, I will give them a shout out later. Alright, so what do we have? Well, we have some tantalizing new images. These are all official. They're from Total Film, as I presume Blumhouse, and Michael looks great. I don't think they revealed too much, but I do think they give us a few more clues. And they do kind of slyly confirm that yes, there is a copycat. The copycat thesis is real. We weren't making things up. It's not a lot of confirmation, but if you look at the, for lack of a better word, pudgy Michael, the pudgy Michael does not look right. And we can see he does appear to have full hands. And in the other images, Michael does keep his missing fingers. So one of the Michaels does appear to have his full hands back. That presumably is the copycat. It could be the way they're framing the image of Michael or one of the Michaels, but more likely, yeah. Quote, the copycat has full hands. And in terms of pudgy Michael, this could be one of the copycats. Either they screwed up or, no disrespect to James, he ate too many cakes. He looks a lot different than he did before. So something's a little bit off about the images. Again, not too much. It's not a hard confirmation, but we definitely have added clues that yes, something is going to happen with the copycat in Halloween Ends. But now I think we get to decidedly bad news. We've been speculating for a while how or why they would explain the time jump of 4 years, and David Gordon Green has finally officially said they're not going to explain it. There will be no explanation for the time jump. It will just happen, and he made a comparison to Jaws. We just have the time jump. There will be no explanation. Jamie Lee Curtis also spoke out, and she said, basically, somehow Laurie got over the trauma. We will get a little bit about how she did it. I've theorized we will get basically a flashback, so we will get a little bit more on Karen, but basically, not a lot will be given as to how or why Laurie overcame the trauma of losing Karen, losing Tommy, and a lot of the townspeople being massacred. Because remember in Kills, Michael killed off quite a lot of the mob. So apparently, we're just going to get a very generalized, she got over it. Beyond that, the article reiterates that yes, Corey Cunningham will be a central part of the story. Somehow, the mob mentality will make him the victim. There is no confirmation of the copycat as of yet. Nevertheless, they do confirm that there will be a finality to this trilogy. In other words, we will get basically a conclusion to this trilogy. Something will happen between Laurie and Michael. One of them will survive, one of them will die. Of course, the shape probably will be resurrected for another film, so on and so forth, but for this trilogy, yes, they will give a definitive conclusion, and that at least will be very explicit in Halloween Ends. So it's kind of a mixed bag. The images are good. At least the costuming and the mask, that looks excellent. They've done a good job on Michael. There are a few quibbles we're going to have with one of the TV spots, but overall, yes, Michael looks excellent. Not much complaining there. But this news is sort of alarming that a lot of explanations people were hoping for or the clues they left out would be given more details. That is not going to happen. So we're just going to have to be satisfied with a lot of ambiguities, a lot of mysteries. So if there are confusing things in Halloween Ends, that is intentional. That is not an accident. That is part of the plan of this trilogy. It is, frankly, pretty shocking. We're just going to have to start with this big time leap and just leave it at that. But that is what they're going to do with the story. And as far as I can see, these interviews are real, these images are real, so some of it is reassuring. And yes, Michael is very mysterious, so the comparison to Jaws does have some validity to it, but this is pretty extraordinary. I mean, really, a lot of fans who are hostile. And I'm not going to be dishonest. I myself have not liked this trilogy. I will try to do more research and bone up just to give it a fair chance. But really, this sounds pretty dumb and stupid not to give any explanation at all. And we still have one full trailer to go, so we should be a little bit more patient. But I don't know how people are really going to react to this. I think this is a pretty large pill to swallow for a lot of the audience because, again, we probably are going to spot a few continuity mistakes. We're going to find a few plot holes, so it would be better to try to find some explanation to make up for the time gap, but that is the plan. There is no explanation. We'll get a little bit more on Laurie's trauma. That's about it. So it sounds more bad than good, I'll be honest, but the images do look good. At least they did provide some responses to these questions. But yeah, I think this is a very not healthy way to respond to a lot of the fan inquiries. But there we are. And that's where we stand with Halloween Ends at the moment. Thanks for listening.